The release of Everdark Libra divided the game's community on whether he's a good boss or not. I say it's a weird fight, and to win it you have to think weird as well. And so, today it's time to beat Nightreign with a stealth build. Duchess is a natural pick for anything stealth related, her ult is invisibility on command. I'm gonna go even further on invisibility with my first relic, Knight of the Miasma, which hides me whenever there is a frostbite proc nearby. Invisibility in Nightreign actually drops the enemy's attention, which is invaluable in crowded fights. You are free to choose between regular and dark version. In the matter of providing stealth, they are both equally good. It's up to your own preferences and the color of relics you can use. I personally enjoy the additional damage boost from the regular one. My second pick is Knight of the Lord, which gives me a free affinity and an attack power whenever I switch weapons and hands. It's natural to think that this and Knight of the Miasma conflict with each other, but in reality you proc Frostbite with Chilling Mist in literal seconds and remain free to use the affinities from Knight of the Lord. Combo of these two relics turns Duchess's usually hard early game into a cakewalk, and then remains super useful for the entire run and plays a huge role in taking down Libra. For the third relic I could not resist taking this beauty. Ideally you want to put here anything invisibility sorcery related. I'm not gonna spend the whole game rushing jails because I'll be too busy searching for a certain spell, Night Comet, which belongs to invisibility sorcery and fits into this build both practically and thematically. You see, Night Comet is one of those spells that enemies don't react to. NPCs won't try to dodge it when you cast it, which is a perfect counter to what Libra's third phase is all about. I'm gonna begin as usual for the sake of starting levels, but soon I'll switch to another thing. My main objective for day 1 is to find Night Comet and upgrade it, along with my starting dagger. I'll be needing my Chilling Mist till the very end. Due to this, I might end up on a lower than average level at the end of day 1, but from there it's gonna be a snowball. These preparations are worth their time. Shattering Crystal is a top tier shotgun spell. It's great for burst damage and synergizes perfectly well with the invisibility we can gain from Frostbite and ult. We can use it until we find Night Comet. Here's what the fights usually look like with this build. I begin with switching weapons to gain attack boost from Knight of the Lord. Then I cast Chilling Mist and quickly proc Frostbite. With gaining invisibility, I have time to unload a couple casts of my strongest spell. Add the restage on top of all that, and smaller enemies are usually dead by now. Bigger enemies have a huge chunk of their HP taken away, and it's easy to improvise from there. One more thing about why Knight of the Lord is good is that it boosts your attack power in general, meaning your spells benefit from it as well. I see that there's a Sorcerer's Rise at the bottom edge of the map, so I start making my way there, getting distracted only once by a field boss along the way. Night Comet is still my #1 priority. It is best to search for staffs in either rises or smaller forts, like those with the Productor Virgin or Guardian Golem with a bow. Opening rises is extra good thanks to my relic effect that'll permanently boost my FP bar. They also got plenty of Starlight Shards inside, and we are gonna need those. Well, in this round luck was on my side and gave me my desired spell from the first attempt. The staff even has an amazing passive effect on top of it. Now, first part of the main objective is done, now I need to upgrade all that. For that I'll have to rotate topside where two mines are placed conveniently next to each other. One will be for the staff and one for the dagger. I might as well get distracted on some random field boss like before, if I see that I can take them out without too much of a hassle. Once again, switch weapons, apply frostbite to go invisible, spam spells, something like that. While both staffs with Shattering Crystal and Night Comet are not upgraded, Shattering Crystal seems to deal a bit more damage to larger enemies, but after making Night Comet purple I'll switch to it completely. The end of day 1 is near, the only remaining necessary thing to do is to find a merchant and upgrade my stuff. After that, I am free to play normally. I see that the camp with the merchant is right on my way to the finishing point, so instead of running there right away, I'll mess around first. I hear something big above me, probably a worm. There is likely not enough time to kill it off completely, but I can still fight it for a bit now and just come back to finish it off at the start of day 2. Another way to deal with a crowded fight is with the help of your ultimate ability. Its invisibility lasts much longer than that from Frostbite. This is the reason why I will often hold it off up until some dangerous or annoying moment. It's great for taking advantage back, and using it right away is somewhat of a waste in my opinion. Day 2 is a moment for us to finally snowball with all the gear we worked for. I'm going to kill as many bosses as I can, preferably formidable ones. I'm definitely going to visit the middle castle and maybe take my time to do a couple of jails. After all, I do have an effect to improve my attack power for doing jails, and if there won't be anything better to do, I won't say no to some extra damage bonus, be it 10 or even 5%. You don't need to do 6 or 7 jails to make it work. Now, Reduvia changes lots of things. It straight up does more damage than my default dagger. And the right move is to keep them both. I still need my frostbite, I still need my invisibility from it. Reduvia means that I am now much less dependent on my spells, its bleed damage can somewhat compete. Good thing we found it. It will make dealing with Libra a tiny bit less painful. I've just said that it's better to use ult to regain advantage instead of casting it right away, but with Banished Knights trio I'd rather make full use of it to confidently take them out one by one. These guys have ruined enough of my runs, and I've learned to take them more seriously than they seem. Usually I don't go out of my way like that anymore to grab a flask charge, but Enhanced Libra is no joke, and I cannot guarantee my safety there. This is the hardest boss I've seen in a while, and probably the hardest boss of Nightreign at the moment. I'm gonna need all the resources I can grab to defeat him. These little madness guys, by the way, can drop boluses that buff your madness resistance. I've cleared one spot like that a bit earlier, and I will come back for these guys after the castle. You often see me heal up when I take some little damage. It's because of how small Duchess's HP bar really is, and if you don't keep it at maximum, the chances of getting comboed to death are significantly higher. It also activates back all the attack and defense buffs that work only at full HP. The plan for Libra is quite complex, but we've been preparing for it this whole time. Play the first phase only with daggers to save FP for the summons. As he goes into phase 3, time the frostbite with the first summon and kill them while invisible. Keep using Night Comet against summons and daggers against Libra until he eventually goes berserk. At that point, he'll slow down with the summons, allowing us to use Night Comet on him as well. Try to use Chilling Mist for damage when possible. If not, Reduvia will be just fine. Ult is our biggest save button. And with how many things can go wrong in Libra's third phase, I'll keep it for the moment I feel truly scared for my life. Usually it's when he offers a challenge by halving everyone's HP, or incites riot by summoning 2 NPCs at the same time. And that's Enhanced Libra down, using somewhat of a fun gaming build that happens to work perfectly against him. I hope you enjoyed this round, please like, subscribe and write a comment, all these things help me out a lot. GG and thank you for watching.